already know what time it is, man. I am back out here with another video. What's good, y'all, man? It's that boy Deadly back out here with another video, man. As y'all can see by the title below today. Listen, we changing up the content once again. We are reacting to BlackySpeakz. Rappers caught faking views. Now listen, I already know this been a thing, bro. Like it's not nothing to hide. It's not nothing that I haven't seen before. Cause I could go on. I could go on for days talking about how fake views within the rap industry is a thing, bro. Like, it's not really much to even talk about because we all know how this works. You feel me? You got these small artists that sign to these labels, and I understand it. People might not know who they is, so you might want to fake their views on a music video that they have or something like that. But with that, it's like you can tell if they views are fake because it'll say 1 million views and then only like 2,000 likes. You gonna fake something, let the ratio be. The ratio gotta match up if you gonna fake something. Not gonna lie. But stop faking your views. That's what Jelani Imani says. I ain't even gonna waste y'all time, bro. We hopping straight into it, man. All right, man. Here we go. Rappers caught faking views, 7 minutes 31 seconds. Without further ado, let's get into it, bro.
Now, question, how many faking their streams? Getting they plays from machines? I can see behind the smoke and mirror, niggas ain't really big as they seem. I want to talk about this recent news, which looks a lot like it's a scandal at this point. Something a lot of us already knew. I've been on this, heard a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes throughout these last couple of years, and I'm sure this won't come as a surprise to you. I'm sure you already know that a lot of artists in this era are actually faking their streams. That's right. There's a lot of botting going on. Stream farms, for anyone who didn't know, is an actual thing. A lot of this stuff that goes on in the industry these days is honestly just sad to see. And a lot of this has to do with perception, i.e. making an artist look hotter than they actually are by fraudulently boosting the engagement. In this video, we're not particularly going to talk about streams, but more so views. This story starts with the man Don Toliver. For anyone who's not familiar with the man Don, he's a 28-year-old Houston-born rapper and singer. Cactus Jack signee who's under Atlantic Records. Don Toliver the other day dropped this record called Do It Right. It's doing fairly well, or it appears to be doing fairly well. A lot of people noticed how when this music video dropped, the views to like to comments ratio was a low.
Y'all saw, y'all listening, right? I said if y'all go do that, the ratio gotta match up, bro.
Actually more than a little. The music video is sitting at almost 8 million views after only 4 days of it being out. It currently has over 100,000 likes and 24,000 comments. That ratio obviously does not add up. 24,000 comments on a music video by Don Toliver that came out 4 days ago. Yeah, I don't really think I need to elaborate on that. Just to make a comparison, let's take an extremely successful artist. How about The Weeknd? The Weeknd dropped the Out of Time music video over 7 months ago. That music video is sitting at 64 million views, over 1.3 million likes. Seems about right. The Weeknd's view to like ratio has always been extremely high. He's just one of those artists who got it like that. Now, how many comments does The Weeknd's music video have? Well, the Out of Time music video is currently sitting at 40,000 comments, and that is a lot. Don Toliver, on the other hand, had 24,000 comments after only 4 days. Again, I don't really think I need to explain why that ratio is not right. Also, Roddy Ricch. Can't believe I have to do this to myself, but here we go. Roddy Ricch dropped a music video featuring Lil Durk just 5 days ago. That video is currently sitting at 5.8 million views. Strange thing about this music video is that it had a substantial jump in views in the span of a day. We're talking a 2 to 3 million jump in, like a day or so, just instantly like that. Also, check out these comments right here on this Roddy video. If you're looking at the screen, as you can see, we got a bunch of profiles, spamming emojis. These comments were not made by real people, by the way, and Don Toliver's music video also has a lot of these comments. These are all bots. Obviously, this looks extremely bad on Roddy's end, especially considering the fact that there's been a prominent conversation about whether or not he fell off, and this definitely plays against him as far as that. Also, same thing for
alright, pause. These one of these videos I'm gonna pause a lot, but okay, this is the thing with this, bro. If you a big artist, this shouldn't happen. Like, I can understand for the smaller artists that's a part of labels, y'all doing this, but for these big ass artists, supposedly big artists, this shouldn't be happening, bro.
Uzi, by the way, he recently dropped the Just Wanna Rock video recently, and there's a bunch of bot comments in there as well. Uzi's record, however, is doing extremely well, so I don't really think this reflects too negatively on him. Like I said, that song is doing really good right now, so that's why. So this kind of thing, this is the label doing what they deem as necessary in order to put their artist in a position to win, and that obviously doesn't make any sense, because if you want to put your artist in a position to win, you don't engage in a bunch of fraudulent tactics in order to make them look hotter than they actually are. The only thing this accomplishes is nothing, especially if there's too big of a gap between how hot the record is and the influx of bots. In this case, as an example, Don Toliver's record only has 3.4 million streams on Spotify. Ain't no chance, ain't no way in the world that a song that merely has 3.4 million streams has almost 8 million views on YouTube. That gap is just too big. For Uzi, I want to say that it's negligible because his record is doing so well, so Uzi's in the clear as far as what this is going to do to his image. However, Roddy, not so good, especially considering the fact that his recent project did not do so well. Atlantic Records is a label that's gotten called out for a lot of shady activities by a multitude of artists. I've heard so many things specifically coming from Atlantic Records. Some of them public, other things are not public, but they've been involved in a lot of shadiness, plain and simple. Atlantic is one of those major labels that I think unless you fall into a specific category of rapper, you're not really going to flourish as an artist under their structure. One example I can give you regarding this is Atlantic Records is one of those major labels that's really tuned into the internet. From what I've seen, they got their ears to the streets, the internet, more than their major label contemporaries. With that being said, they fall into the category of a label that's very much willing to take a risk on quick fads because they see a potential return that they know probably won't last that long, but they still do it. Bad Baby is a good example. They signed her with the quickness. Rappers who have an independent spirit usually don't thrive all that well on Atlantic. Their structure, from what I've seen and heard from friends who work in the industry, is a very much in with the good and out with the bad approach. That's why Atlantic Records, for anyone who hasn't noticed, they tend to shelf their artists pretty fast. Let's just put it like this. If someone did a study on all the major labels in the music industry and they try to find out how fast each and every major label shelf their artists, I believe Atlantic Records would be very high up on that list. They tend to have a very high turnover rate, and that's not a good thing. But then again, especially considering how many artists they sign annually, that's to be expected. Just know that labels, especially major labels, are always counting on the fact that at least 80% of all the artists they sign will be quote-unquote failures, at least from the standard they set. They also know that once they deem that artist as a failure, that artist will have their back against the wall because, you know, they're going to be stuck in a very undesirable position where they, as an artist, they still want to get their music out there and keep pushing and, you know, drop music. But since the label has deemed them as not useful enough, now they gotta follow suit and they can't really drop whenever they want because they're signed to a label, and shit, ain't really much you can do about it at that point but do your time and just you know, just leave after that. One of the worst things for any artist on a label, especially major labels, when they start to look at you as more of a liability than an asset. At that point, might as well mentally pack your bags and plan that exit. This is all very important and relevant to this conversation because here's the thing: the music industry in general right now operates at an extremely high pace. Things are moving so fast, and a lot of times if you're not moving fast enough with it, they might want to give you a little nudge by manipulating your hotness so you look like you're winning. Wink wink, inauthentic views. And the idea is for that to create some kind of momentum, since now the perception is you're hotter than you actually are. You see how it all ties together? Word of advice to all my artists out there, and this is really important: never look at fabricated engagement, i.e. fake followers, fake views, likes, etc. as an option for your career. Just thinking about that as an alternative sets you back. Trust me, you don't want to go down the path of faking your engagement in any capacity, especially if you want to make a living doing this shit long term. I've never even understood the concept of fake followers. I mean, that's like building a house on cheap material. That shit's not gonna last every fucking time. Just know that everything we talked about in this video doesn't really hurt any of these artists in the grand scheme of things, because these are already some established names in the genre. They've made it. But I know that there's a lot of artists out there looking at something like this, reconsidering their options. Should I go down the path of faking my views? Sure. Go ahead and do that. Let's see where that takes you. That'll take you down this road called Nowhere Street. That's right. We're not going to hear about you because your engagement is going to be artificial. Anyway, how many faking their streams? Rappers faking their views? What do you think about this topic? J. Cole was obviously right, but I never doubted him. Curious to hear what you have to say, and yeah, I'm out this bitch. Peace.
Listen, this is how I feel about it, bro. If you're a big ass artist like these niggas that he unnamed, bro, you shouldn't have to fake your views. You shouldn't at that point, bro. You shouldn't have to fake your views, bro. But faking your views as a big artist, that's gonna mess you up completely, because you're not gonna have a real fan base. But I don't really want to get into that because I know a little bit about it. I don't know much. I'm not really into like record label shit. But listen, if you're an artist watching this video, do not sign no deal, bro. Do not sign no deal. You see how Sofego doing right now? Bro, Sofego been up next for a long ass time. He really shouldn't have signed with Travis Scott. The only record label that I know that's dealing with like a artist record label, you got 1017. They pretty nice, but Opium is at the top right now, and they only got what, basically 3 artists: Destroy, Can, and then Homicide Gang. Bro, just don't sign no deal until you just get your name up, and do not sign with Atlantic. That's all I gotta say, because they just sign niggas just to sign niggas. But hey man, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, man, you can like us, comment, and subscribe if you're new. You feel me? More videos coming soon, more content coming soon. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's been your boy, Fat Boy Jelly. Come on, man.